Autumn? Why is it autumn? I didn't like leave and come back, did I? Oh, because of Adino? But like, wouldn't the season not change? I feel like the season wouldn't change. This feels weird. Oh, it's because it's not nighttime yet. It's not freaking nighttime. There's no day-night encounters in this game, though. It doesn't really matter, but... This does make it kind of harder to see the shaking grass. That actually would be annoying to do during the daytime. Or actually optimal for doing it at nighttime. Monkey! Night monkey. That's a Spider-Man reference, actually. Is Tallgrass the best way to get shiny Vespiquen? So she's only 5% here. I don't know if there's a better place for her. Let me see. And I'll do some math. She may only be in the Shaken Grass here. She's on Route 12. Okay, so what's on Route 12? Let's see. Because she's on a route, it's almost certain that it will be better to do it on that route. But we're going to see. She is not in Lost Lorne in Black and White. I'm not sure what the Shaken Grass situation is. But Route 12. Vespiquen. Is she only Shaken Grass here? Oh, she's 5% Shaken Grass, and you can't repel. Wow, okay, so the only way to get Vespiquen directly is through Shaking Grass, and she's 5%. She's a 1,000 hour hunt if you do it the way I'm doing it. I think I pretty much... You could bike if you're, like, playing cracked out of your mind. You could bike and get the encounters faster, but it wouldn't even be that much more. And, like, the time loss from mistakes and... from not seeing patches of grass and everything, like, that's why I say you need to be, like, cracked to not lose more time than you would gain by biking, so I think running's the only option. But you could get a 12.5% chance at getting a male or a female Combi. So what about Combi? Do we have a Combi option? Combi is on Route 12 and probably not in Shaken Grass, actually, so Combi's only 20%. So, yeah, it's actually... Wait, okay, so 20. So let's calc this out. So let's say encounters are slow in this game. So I'm going to say 33 hours, and then times 5, and then times 8. It's slightly faster to do Shaking Grass and get Vespiquen directly than it is to try to get a female Combi in this game. Yeah. Hidden Grotto, Lost Lorne Forest. Combi's only 10% in Lost Lorne, too. So, can you repel trick it? No, not really. Can you repel trick it on Route 12? I didn't even think about that. 35? No, it's the lowest level. You can't repel trick it at all. Yeah, there's just not a great way to get a Vespiquen. Hidden Grotto would take forever. I'm not even familiar with what that is. I guess there's like a cave and like you can get an encounter there. Those can't even be shiny though, right? So. 21 hours into Farfetch'd. How long did I have on Mr. Mime? We did 14 hours over the course of a week. I don't know when we'll go back to it. I'm probably going to go back to Paris, and then we're going to get Paris, and then I'm probably going to go back to Chansey, and then we'll just, like, see when we feel like doing Mime eggs. Gail, what's up? I got COVID yesterday. I had a 104 fever today. Damn. I got it back in the day. Back in like 2021? 2022? And it beat me up for like 3 days. And then I was chilling. Yeah, it was 2022. And it got me. Yo, Doge? This is my first time getting it. Thought it was in the clear since you don't hear about it anymore. Oh, yeah, no, it's still around. It's just, so many people are vaccinated. And then, yeah, people have gotten it and now they're, like, basically immune. Like, half immune. You wouldn't even know if they caught it again. I suspect it'll pretty much be around like the flu for the foreseeable future. I mean, the problem with the flu, the reason why the flu's a thing, why it's always like, oh, this person got the flu or that person got the flu, or like, oh, there's a new flu, is because it changes so much, right? It's spec'd into adaptation. You've gotten all the COVID vaccines? Had to have been a different variant then, yeah. Just like the flu, it's just like it doesn't mutate as rapidly as the flu typically does, is the impression I'm under. But even when, like, people were just starting to get vaccinated and stuff, there was another variant that was, like, more rare, but it did exist. And it was like, yeah, you can still get that one and it'll still make you sick. And it's like, oh. Whoops. Oh, finally nighttime. There we go. I can see a lot better. Well, also, I should say, like, you being vaccinated, you can still get it. It's just that your body's better at fighting it. So your symptoms are, like, less significant, basically. 104 fever sounds like it messed you up pretty bad, though. Like, your body should not need to damage itself that much to fight it, so it may have just been another variant that you weren't vaccinated against, would be my guess. Probably not the OG. Derp was a big derp. This collar and the shirt's really big. I could probably do like a Madonna. You know what I'm talking about? The Madonna. Tattoo reveal. This is a Madonna. I got it from my nephew. Had lots of close exposure. It can only do so much. Oh, yeah. I was gonna say, too, I was like, you had to have, like, it had to have been, like, incubated to where, like, a lot hit you at once. If it was one of the, if it was a, variant that you weren't, or that you were vaccinated against. It would have needed to, like, cook up and you get a bunch of it, you know? Because, like, you get, the thing is, like, when your body doesn't know that it's bad and doesn't know how to deal with it, you get it, and then it just replicates in your body and chills, and that's why there's that period of time, like, you know, you can get the flu and not have any symptoms, and then all of a sudden 4 days later you have symptoms. That's not really all of a sudden, but, like, that's why there's, like, an incubation period, right? It's, like, chilling. If you're vaccinated, your body immediately is like, hey, wait, that's bad. I know that's bad. I fought that before. Let me mess it up. But if you get exposed to a bunch of it all at once, your body, like, isn't going to kill all of it and recognize all of it. And so it's able to incubate, and then you still get a little bit sick. It's interesting. A lot of the time, I think a lot of people don't think about this, but when we're sick, we think of, like, the symptoms of us being sick as being, like, the consequence of us, of the thing, like, attacking us. But it's really our body's response to it that makes us sick. Like, the fever isn't the virus making us hot, right? It's our body heating up to try to kill the virus, because it's like, oh, body temperature? You're used to body temperature? What if it was above body temperature by 6 degrees? And, like, when your nose is running, it's like, get it out of here. Get it out of here. I can't think of any more symptoms that are like that, but you get the idea. Oh, throwing up, your body's like, get it out of here. The other one, your body's like, get it out of here. Windows noise coming. I just wanted to check something real quick. The library full of quiet people trying to study monkey. You know, interestingly, we got a monkey early on, and we have yet to see a monkey in like it's been like 100 encounters. We haven't seen one. Probably not that many actually. 50. Yeah, about 50 encounters. We haven't seen one. Okay. Had that message typed waiting for the damn monkey. We're at 250 hours almost now, too, so halfway. Just about halfway. Okay. Oh yeah, breakdown of those numbers, by the way, of getting a shiny Vespiquen in this game. So there's two options. You have 5% shaking grass, or you have 20% Combi, which is 7 out of 8 times male. So for the shaking grass, it's 50 hours per, 50 hours per shiny. It ends up being, what was it? I don't have the numbers here. Whatever amount of seconds would equal 50 hours to 8192. So it's 50 hours per shiny. And with Vespiquen being a 5%, that means on average you're looking at 1,000 hours of time commitment. But you get a lot of cool stuff along the way, on average at least. There's Rose Raid, Leavanny, the Elemental Monkeys, Emolga, Lilligant. So yeah, all good shinies in my opinion, all cool Pokemon. I don't like Emolga that much, but and then Elemental Monkeys I think are definitely very hit and some like hit or miss for a lot of people, so you know. And they're 10%. Oh, and Audino as well. And then Audino's gonna be like a big chunk of the shinies that you'll get on the way. Actually you would get let's see, so 20, it's 4 to 8. You'd get 8 Audinos on average. By the time you got Vespiquen, you'd have 8 Audinos. 8 shiny Audinos. Monkey. And then the 20% Combi. So 20% non-repellable. There's nothing you can do to make the encounter rate higher for Combi specifically. So you're looking at 20%. The encounters are probably a lot faster. So, but encounters in these games are pretty slow. So you're probably looking at about 32, 33 hours. And then since it's 20%, that's a 1 in 5. So 32, 33 hours is to see a shiny, but only 1 out of 5 of those is going to be a Combi. And so that puts us at like 115 hours ish, I think, to see a shiny Combi. And then it's a 1 in 8 for one of those Combis to be a female. So on average, I think it was like 13, 15, so 1,300 hours average to just get a Combi that's female so that you could then evolve it to a Vespiquen. So it's a bit worse. It's better to target Vespiquen directly. I don't think they wanted people to get Vespiquen shiny that bad. They didn't want to make it a quick endeavor. Getting a male Combi would be heartbreaking. Imagine getting 7 male Combi on average before you get a female one too. So that's average. It could be worse. It could be better, but it could be worse. Actually, it's more likely to be worse than it is to be better. Unfortunately. It's Smoke. Hey, Smoke. 6-7. You hit the 6-7. I don't know if you saw, but that's also one of the 8-ball responses that I added. And I think it just hits really good when you ask the right question. Thank you, Smoke. 67 months, a lot of months. I was looking to see if you were streaming, but you were like, oh, I'm going to stream late. So I was like, yeah, it's not going to be. It's not going to be until later. We can't just have a 2-second record. Like, that's weird. You know what I'm saying? That'd be weird. At least 3 seconds. Dentist. I hate dentists. I actually have a phobia of dentists. I have an irrational... And you know how sometimes people will be like, oh, like, it's not a phobia because I'm not scared, like, with, like, homophobia, they're like, oh, I'm not scared of them, you know, like, it doesn't mean irrational fear. It can mean irrational hatred, too. It can mean an irrational, like, dislike of something, even. But the point is that it's irrational, right? It is irrational. I know dentists are nice, they're fine, it's a cool profession, everything's fine, but I don't like them. I see a dentist on the street, it's on site. I see the dentist. Can you play again? Hello? That's me with the dentist. I gotta make sure, double tap. Just really make sure. Triple tap. Sorry, dentist. Just kidding, I wouldn't harm a dentist, but I don't like dentists, because when I was a kid, I didn't like strangers. And I didn't like strangers putting their fingers in my mouth with latex gloves on. And so I would bite them. And so when I would go to the dentist, which I did a lot when I was younger, I made a scene. Okay? And they made a scene too. And honestly, I think they could have handled it better. They could have, like, made me comfortable or whatever, but they just didn't want to. Okay? They could have made me comfortable. They could have made me not bite them. They could have not had to sedate me. Have you seen that meme of that giant gorilla stabbing Godzilla in the mouth, Captain Dentist? So I was like, Yeah. They pull out a machete, you know, and they just, like, just hack your gums into pieces, and they're like, it's because you don't floss. Because you don't floss. Okay. But yeah, I just, like, I don't know, seeing people in dentist outfit and the taste of latex and the feeling of latex on my teeth, I just don't like because of that. And I'm aware, I know why, I get it. Like, yeah, I was a kid and I went to the dentist and it was a traumatic experience for me. Because I didn't like strangers. And I didn't like strangers in my mouth with latex gloves. Okay. So, I get it, but I don't need to, like, to get over that phobia. I don't feel like it. It feels good to dislike dentists, you know? It feels good. It feels right. Okay. Last time I went to the dentist, I was, I think, 15. Also, my teeth are doing fine. I don't need the dentist. What am I going to go there to do? Have them, like, tell me my teeth are good? They're good, okay? I ate a lot of sugar when I was a kid, and so my teeth weren't good. And then I don't like sweet stuff as much, and I take good care of my teeth. So, it's fine. I could have, like, I could get them whitened. I could have better color on my teeth because I used to smoke and I drink coffee, you know, and that doesn't help the color of your teeth, but that has no reflection on the health of my teeth. Also, my teeth are pretty white. They're pretty white. Ignore the yellow light. It's a yellow light. See? They're pretty white. They're not bad. I'll give them a 6 out of 10 on whiteness. That's my judgment. So I don't need the dentist. I don't want the dentist. I don't want him near me. Get him away. Yucky. Wretched biter dentist. That's what they call me. They charge too much. That too. That too. You know, pay like $500 for someone to put like, you know, latex in my mouth. Like, I could go downtown and someone would do that for free. Okay. They do for free. Sexually. Why do I need a dentist to do it? I need some wisdom teeth out, but I really don't want to pay that at the moment. Yeah. That can mess your jaw up pretty bad, I think, if they keep growing in. I am an anomaly. I actually have 2 sets of wisdom teeth, so I have an extra set of wisdom teeth, and my alignment and everything is perfectly fine. Like, I just have no jaw issues or anything, but I have an extra set of wisdom teeth. So my wisdom teeth grew in, and then approaching adulthood, another set started growing in. I was like, okay. I'm double wisdom toothed up. But I'm lucky. I think most people, even the one set of wisdom teeth, they have to get taken out eventually. Didn't even know that was a thing. Yeah, me neither until it happened. Okay. I think the purpose of wisdom teeth, and I could be wrong, this is just like a totally like logic guess, but I'm pretty sure the reason wisdom teeth even grow in and are a problem is because historically, biologically, it's very likely that you would lose a tooth or multiple teeth, and so your wisdom tooth growing in, it would like push your teeth forward, and like it was basically like a backup tooth. Like, hey, I know you're gonna lose a tooth, let me like push your teeth closer together, so you don't have as many gaps, and like make it like a more cohesive set of teeth that function correctly. Evolutionarily, that was probably beneficial, but now it's like, oh, it's weird if you don't have all your teeth, you know, and so your wisdom tooth comes in, and it's like, hey, make room, and there's no room. But I think I just have a big jaw, and I guess maybe it was a thing that evolutionarily my ancestors like had good teeth care. They were British, so, but my ancestors had Michael and Tenna. Maybe my ancestors had good teeth, and then like some of them died because they didn't lose teeth and their wisdom teeth were fucked up, and then so it became a beneficial trait to like have a bigger jaw so that the wisdom teeth didn't mess you up and get like break your jaw and get infected and then you die. And that's why it's a thing. That's my best guess. Also, I don't know if it's a thing from like I asked my dad and he said it didn't happen to him, and my mom didn't have two sets, and so it had to be on it had to be on one of my grandparents' side. But the problem is that 1, 2, 3, 4, three of my grandparents aren't around anymore. They died, and then one of them, I don't know who the grandparent is. I don't know who my grandfather is on my mom's side. It's some white guy. That's all I know, because I'm freaking a bajillion % white. I thought I was Native American. Turns out, nope. That guy was not my grandfather. I met him when I was 8. My mom was like, this is your grandfather. Your real grandfather. Nope. Cap. My grandma was capping. Sorry, Grandma. You knew what you did. You knew the possibilities. The paranoia checks for having 5 eggs has sat up over time. I haven't forgotten to pick up eggs in a while, but yeah, I was still, even when I got like in the flow, I was still doing it semi-often because I was just so worried about wasting time. I would say it doesn't add up as much as like probably like 10 egg checks equals 1 forgetting to deposit a Mr. Mime and grab an egg as soon as possible, depending on how long it took. If you don't notice until you hatch another mime, I would say that the 10 egg checks are about the same amount of time loss. Did I not power because I was distracted? Oh, well, it's time to power. Monkey. Oh, also, I don't know what effect this had, but on the right side, my second wisdom tooth kind of grew out like just a little tiny bit to the right. It doesn't affect me, like it's fine. It's very subtle too. It's very subtly to the right. 69 months, Amy. This is insane. Monkey. a lesson I've learned is that I should never write a video and then like be like, okay, that's good, and then make the video. I need to write the video and then not do anything with it, the script or anything, for like a month, because I was looking at the script like when I wrote it before we moved, and I haven't looked at it since, and I've been thinking about it, and I've gotten just like so many better ideas to bring it together to make it a more cohesive video. But yeah, I just have a lot of really good ideas. Like, I'm still probably going to keep some of the writing that I did, but like I'm going to restructure it and move some stuff around and make it a little bit more focused. And that's excuse me, that's actually, oh, what's up, Zesty? Hey, gamer. That's actually what happened with the first video. I actually wrote like it's completely different script for the video originally. Like, I would say like 1.5 years or 2 years ago. Like, it was a while ago. It was shortly after I stopped playing Scarlet and Violet, and I was kind of hot off of like gaining all of the takes that I have. Like, I was thinking about all the statistics stuff and the time commitment stuff and everything, and I was like kind of putting together my thesis that would end up being the video of the grand issue. But I just had too fresh of a perspective on it, and I wrote that whole video, and then I didn't make it. And I wanted to go back and like edit it and stuff because I wasn't happy with it and stuff like that. But then I just left it alone for like 1.5 years, 2 years, and I like let it stew, and I thought about what I had originally written, and it resulted in the video that we got. And I didn't even go back and look at that old script I completely started fresh. I still had the outline in mind of like, hey, here's, you know, here's my original premise and like kind of the talking points and stuff like that. That was all still similar enough, but I didn't go back and look at it, see what I wrote or anything. Hello, Edgar. 4645. What are we counting down to? Me getting a shiny? It's a countdown for me getting a shiny. I've reached monetization on YouTube. I did reach monetization. Unfortunately, it was after 100,000 views on the video. But since then, I've gotten like 20k views, and I've made about $200 off of it. So pretty cool. But I could have made like $1,200 off of it. But that wasn't my original intention. I thought that the video would get like 2,000 views, and that like half would be full odds people and, you know, the multi hunters, and half would be normal people or people from Pokemon, just like the general Pokemon community. That was my thought. Like, I was like, oh yeah, 2,000 views would be great. I was like, that would be the video doing really well. It's like 2,000 views. Do I remember you, Chase? Of course I do. Vaguely. And from what I'm remembering, I don't have that much to remember you by. I think you just chatted in the YouTube chat like one time? But I do remember your name. Okay. Hey, Cogs, what's up, gamer? It's going alright. I'm ready for this minty monkey. But yeah, my goal with the video was never to make money or increase my reach to people. But with that said, with it doing well, I'm not gonna not make more videos. Like, I'm just gonna make more videos. So I'm gonna make more videos while perpetually having imposter syndrome, thinking that all my videos after the first one will suck, because that's how I feel right now. But I think I think like having feelings like that and so much of our experience that we think of as negative, like I think a lot of people would be like, I have imposter syndrome, like that's crippling me, like it's ruining my ability to perform well. And I think like you could have it bad enough to where it like cripples your ability to perform well. But I think in a way it's like keeping your ego in check, right? That's what imposter syndrome kind of is. It's your brain going, hey, listen, if you like gain too much confidence, you'll stop trying. So let me just make you doubt yourself a little bit. Not kidding. Let me just make you doubt yourself a little bit. Like, let me convince you that you suck. Because when you think you suck, you try harder. The struggle really brings something out in people. As long as the imposter doesn't put you down too much. Yeah, it could be bad. It could be like too much, for sure. It's kind of like how anxiety is your brain's way of saying like, hey, like don't just relax. Like something could be wrong. And so I want you to worry about it so that you'll fix it. You know, like having a little bit of anxiety is the reason a lot of the time people like remember that they didn't turn off the stove. And then they get up in the middle of the night and they go turn off the stove, right? But like really bad, like crippling anxiety on the other end of things where your brain's not functioning as it should and it's giving you more anxiety than it should, is you getting up every single night to check the stove when you didn't even use it, you know? The shiny Kyogre hunt, on Fridays. It's good to want to strive for doing better. Having a bit of ego is also good. Yeah, balance. Perfectly balanced. As all things should be. I hope you're monetized on YouTube, Smoke, because when you release that Sal video, it's gonna make the big bucks. I don't know if you're still here. Have you seen Bismuth? The YouTuber? I heard that. Going for a shiny Galarian Ponyta. Ooh, yeah, Ponyta is sick. I don't know what Galarian Ponyta shiny looks like, though. We're going to check it out. You've heard of them. You should check out their YouTube channel, and I think it would be a great inspiration for the video. I'm going to give you a couple of specific videos. Here's the channel. Maybe just check that out in general, but there's a couple videos I'm going to show specifically. So this Celeste video is the most detailed one he's ever done, I would say, in a certain way. I don't think it's that great of a video. Like, I had trouble getting through it because I don't really care about Celeste that much. And I don't, like, to me, it's so complicated that it becomes, like, difficult for me to watch because so much is happening. With that said, I think that Geared Sal is, like, pretty easy to understand once you understand the basics. So I think it would be a lot better. But this one did really well. 200k views. Okay, not bad. But I think a lot of people felt the same way. And then let's see. Oh, this one is so good. I don't know if you saw Summoning Salt's Mike Tyson video, but this is like a breakdown of Summoning Salt himself getting a world record in it. So it's like Summoning Salt wasn't the subject of the previous video that he made about beating all those world record times by what's his name? Matt Turk. Yeah. But Summoning Salt does hold the world record for like most of the important records in Punch Out, and then this is a breakdown of the luck in that record. So let's see. Oh yeah, this one's really good. This is a really good one too. Highly recommend that one. I accidentally left the 24 seconds on it. The whole ABC video, this one, by the way, like, if you just want, like, honestly, even if you don't like Mario 64, this video right here is some of the most compelling content to exist on YouTube. or on the face of the planet. It's so interesting how people figured out how to beat all these levels on Mario 64 without pressing it. Like, and it's so much of it gets so wacky, and there's like physics and geometry, and it's an insane video. Must watch for anybody who plays video games. Extreme recommend. It is 5 hours long. It was originally a multi-part series, but 5 hours long. But that does have 2 million views. I'm just saying. Mario 64 is pretty big, but I'm just saying. Galarian Ponyta shiny, insane. Goat shiny, top 50 shinies. It's insane. So is Ponyta. Regular Ponyta, Galarian Ponyta. They're both sick. We love them. I think those videos, pretty much all the ones, and a lot of the rest of the ones on Business Channel would be great inspiration for like how to deliver the information in a way that people can understand, and like how technical you should get or how much you should break things down. I think Bismuth does a really great job at finding a good balance between the two. Like, he'll get really into detail about something when it's interesting, and then he'll kind of just be like, oh, and there's this other thing that's really complicated, but it's not as interesting. So we won't talk about that much. You know, he just does a great job at that. And like maintaining a really good pacing and like viewer experience, even though the speed run might not be as accommodating to that. So I know I'm going to burn my house down one day because I forgot to turn off the stove. I've come to terms that's inevitable. So you just don't even worry about it. That's how some people end up getting over anxiety to a certain degree. Like, at a certain point, you can't like stop your body from being like, hey, you should be anxious right now. But what you can do is kind of like you could deal with it a little bit better. And one of the ways that I've generally done that is by thinking like, what is the like worst case scenario? And a lot of people are like, that sounds horrible. Why would I imagine like the worst case scenario? Like everyone dies and like the world explodes or whatever. And it's not really about that. It's more about saying like, what would it take for that to actually happen? The worst case scenario to actually happen. Right. So like, for example, if I'm like worried that I locked the door, I would be like, okay, well, nobody has probably ever tried opening our door ever. What are the chances that they would try opening the door tonight? And then I almost never forget to lock the door. So what are the chances that I just forgot to lock the door too? And it's so unlikely. And even if that did happen, you know, like I would probably hear them and, you know, then they'll die. I won't say what happens in between. Then they die and we're all good. So then I'm not worried about it. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I mean, it's probably locked anyways. But like, if it isn't, here's the end result. Or like, you know, when I was in school, I'd be worried about like a test and I'd be like, man, this is really hard and I didn't study that much. And I'm just like, you know, I've been lazy and whatever, and I don't think I'm going to do well. And I'm like, okay, well, so I have an A in the class right now. And so if I do really bad, this is like 20% of my grade. So like worst case, if I got a 0, I would have like maybe a C in the class. And then like, oh no, having a C. And it's like, okay, worst case, what happens if you have a C? Like, you're not even trying to go to that nice of a college, like a ridiculously nice college. Like, you already have a good GPA. So like, it's not that huge of a deal if that does happen, you know. And then you see how you kind of think about the end result. You think about the end game and the worst case. And the worst case is I get a 0 on the math test. And then it makes you feel better. It was fun being consistently nervous for tests and it consistently being fine. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, your brain was telling you needed to be anxious, but you didn't really need to be. It maybe to a certain degree contributed to you doing well because you wouldn't let yourself get lazy and not know the material because you didn't want to entertain that possibility. But there's a middle ground, you know? There's like, you could be a little worried about it so that you're motivated, but then you also don't have to let it like ruin your life. One day you're going to leave your door unlocked and while you're sleeping, dentists are going to come in and stick their latex gloves in your mouth. No! That is the absolute worst case scenario. I didn't even imagine that. Now I feel better. Now I feel even better about it. I'll be okay. It's fine. That's cool. I'll bite them. Why did I soft reset? Alright. Soft reset, Sammy. This first one can't be shiny because it looks sus. Alright, we're good. We're chilling. I need a sparkly though. I love not studying at all, being extremely nervous and cooked before the exam, feeling so free afterwards, even though I'm not gonna have minus. Yeah, my anxiety was enough to where I was like, I can't let that happen, and I would at least get some studying. I'll be right back. What are you doing here? Let's say hi to chat. Let's say hi to chat. Everyone say hi, Aries. Everyone say hi, Aries. Aries, what are you doing? You wanted to hang out? You wanted me to pick you up, and then when I sit down, then you want... Make up your mind. Make up your mind. Why are you being weird? You're done. Call me Santa. Kitty's from Atlanta. Call me Santa. Something about when you fresh crack that sparkling water and you just crush a third of it and it hurts, but it hurts so good. Okay. The thing about school too, and I don't mean to like be egotistical or flex or whatever, like I'm not that smart, but like generally school felt very easy, and like it felt like a little dumbed down and watered down, and as a consequence I didn't really have to try almost at all. Like the thing is, if I was in class like and the teacher was talking, I would pay attention. And if I was in class and they were like, read this, I would read. Like, you know, I just wasn't like studying. Like I wasn't going back over information. Like I gotta memorize this, and like me just like being exposed to the information once was enough. And I also never basically ever did homework. And that doesn't mean that I didn't complete the homework. I just wouldn't do it at home. I would do it at school because they'd be like, oh, here's a test. And then, you know, it'll probably take you 30 minutes. And I would do the test in like 10 minutes. And then I'd be like, oh, okay, well, I have math homework. Let me just do the math homework real quick. You know? Or I would do it on the bus. And so I never almost ever had to do any kind of homework. There's one time my senior year when I always took really easy classes, but I had an English class. It was just a normal English class, but the teacher was like, yeah, I want like a 20-page research paper where like you're doing citation and all this stuff. And it just like wasn't something that I could just like do like on my own. Like I couldn't bullshit it. I couldn't just like do it on the bus or whatever. And what I did is I waited until like the night before and I wrote the 20-page paper with good sources, everything like that, all that good stuff. And I did it at home. And it was like one of the only times I ever did anything at home. I wouldn't like study or anything like at home or do anything like that. The full extent of what I would do is if like they gave us a study guide, I would look at it before the test just to make sure I was like, you know, a little brushed up on everything. But the problem too is that like I'm a good test taker. I'm a very good test taker. Like I have good time management and like I'm good at like deduction and just kind of like educated guessing. Peanut butter with a side of silly. What a great username. Thank you for the shiny lock. I appreciate it. I forgot what I was going to say. My brain stopped working. Oh yeah, I'm a good test taker, so that kind of enabled me a little bit to like not have to think about things as much. Because like if I don't know the answer, like a lot of the time I could just kind of like figure it out, you know, without like knowing it. I'd be like, okay, those two answers are stupid, so it's 50-50 between these two. And like I remember this one thing from TV this one time was like this other thing, so it's probably not that, so it's this. And it's like I wouldn't even really know the answer, but you could still get it right. And like some teachers would just like put like 3 really stupid answers. Like you had to like I could have passed the test without like even being taught the subject. They'd be like, what is Earth's crust made of? And it's like bread, guacamole, chips, molten rock. Molten and solid rock. And it's like, oh, okay. I don't think the crust is all solid. You get the idea. You get what I'm saying. And I swear, the only reason they put 3 dumb answers is because they probably put 2 dumb answers and people would pick one of the dumb answers. Oh, it's made out of bread. Crust, bread. Obviously. There's crust on bread. Checkmate, liberals. Arceus, what's up? Arceus G4. I remember G4 channel, the channel. It was actually Tech TV before it was G4. And prior to the switch to G4, the content was a lot different. It like was like a technology channel, Tech TV, but it wasn't really focused on gaming. Whereas G4 was like full gaming commit. And I think that's because of the success of XPlay, because XPlay was on Tech TV prior to it becoming G4. And XPlay I watched it all the time. Adam Sessler and Morgan West, I think their names were. And I watched XPlay every time. I wanted to see what they were saying about games, you know. But they also had a bunch of other shows. Like, I think there was some kind of like technology building kind of like competition. It wasn't Junkyard Wars, but it was similar. It was very similar to Junkyard Wars, if you guys remember that, where people would build like robots and machines out of like stuff at a junkyard, in like teams of 2 and stuff, or 3 or whatever. But then also there was robot battling. So people would make robots, you know, and then battle them in an arena. There was that on there. I don't remember what else was on there because I don't think I really liked much of the content, but the battle bots and the X-Play, I was down. But then they kind of pivoted into like going hard with the gaming stuff. Okay. Okay. How do I increase the chance for wrestling grass? So the only option is to use exploring power. And honestly, exploring power 3 is really annoying. So you need to get exploring power S because it lasts for 10 minutes instead of 3. So exploring power is the way. And you have to get that through the entry link, and you do like all the missions and stuff, and you get the pass orbs, and then like it becomes available eventually. There's guides online about how to get the entry link stuff going. $247 hours for this run so far. What's the average time? 500 hours. So the PANPOUR is 10%, and then it's 1 in 8192, of course. So that's 1 in 81,920 encounters average. And then the encounters are pretty slow. Shaking grass takes a bit to appear. And then encounters are pretty slow in this game as well. So it's about 50 hours per 8192 encounters. So multiply that by 10, so 500. Sounds annoying to get. It's a little bit like, yeah, it'd probably take you a few hours. But once you get it, it's worth it. I mean, you can do all the shaking grass hunts in the game. So doing shaking grass hunts without exploring power S would be incredibly miserable. Like, you're looking at, if you don't use any of the exploring powers, you're looking at like 2 to 3 minutes between encounters sometimes. It's real wacky goofy. Yeah, and I normally wouldn't do a 500-hour hunt. Like, that's kind of beyond my average time commit that I'm willing to put in. But the thing is that in this area, there's so many Pokemon that I would be happy to get and that I probably wouldn't go for otherwise. Like, I probably would have never gone for, like, Roserade on its own. You can get Roselia pretty easily in this game, pretty quick. But Roserade itself, which it just evolves into, getting that in the wild as a Roserade, this is the only place to do it. But then also, you can get Leavanny, you can get Lilligant, which you can get those in other areas too, but still getting them in their final form is pretty cool. And then I never would have gotten the other elemental monkeys, but here you can get all 3 of the elemental monkeys. And then Emolga, I probably wouldn't have gone for, but if we get one, that's cool. Audino. So with there being just a bunch of cool Pokemon to get, I was like, down. Roserade has a trash moveset if you catch it wild, I'm sure. Yeah, I might have to do a little customizing. You really want to evolve them manually. It makes sense because like you get like different moves on the earlier stage that you want to keep. I'm not personally concerned about it because I'm not like, how is this hanging? How did this happen? Aries, this is Aries. Aries did this, or a ghost. Maybe a ghost did this. Yeah, being able to get some cool Pokemon kind of on the way is enough for me to be like, okay, 500 hours, like, I could do that. Manageable. Most hunts where it's a longer hunt and you're doing, like, random encounters, usually there's not this many Pokemon that you can get. Black and White 2 did a really good job at doing really wide distributions of Pokemon. Like, there's a lot of options. And a lot of the time when you go to an area, there's a lot of Pokemon that it's like, oh, you can't get them in any other area. Whereas, like, if you shiny hunt, like, Fire Red, Leaf Green, you'll go to an area and you'll be like, oh, there's this 20% Pokemon I want to get. And then the rest of the 80% is, like, Rattata and Pidgey, who are on, like, every single route. You know, or there's some other Pokemon like Oddish that you can find on every route, or Bellsprout or something like that. But these games do a really good job at giving you a lot of options. So there's a lot of hunts that I would do that I probably wouldn't normally do, because it's like, oh well, there's a bunch of Pokemon I'm happy to face on here. How many other shinies have you got in these 200 hours? 7. 5 Audinos, or I'm sorry, 4 Audinos, 2 Panseers, and a Roserade. Was it? It's 4 Audinos, right? Is this the recent one? This is the recent. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we've gotten a couple more than we should have by now. So it's not like incredible luck, but at this point, on average, we should have gotten about 5 shinies, and we've gotten 7. So slightly above average, not bad. I've only gotten Chinese by accident. I think that's most people. Unless, like, we're talking about, like, modern games, because most people, I think, in their Scarlet Violet playthrough found 1 or 2 shinies, at least. Yeah, at least in, like, the more classic games. Unless you're deliberately looking for one, most people haven't even seen a random one. Because think about it, I think a lot of people overestimate how many encounters you get in a playthrough. Like, from beginning to end of a playthrough, if you're, like, not wasting a ton of time, you'll probably do like maybe 300 random encounters. That's like honestly pretty generous. I was looking for a Mienshao in Icarus City. Got a shiny vanilla. Okay. We're gonna get vanilla at some point. I'm a fan. I don't like the shiny that much, but I think the Pokemon's okay. But the shiny's kind of mid as hell. Mankey. Shiny Pidgey and Spearow only green by chance. That inspired me to hunt the last 3 normal flying types. Is that how many there are? I wasn't sure how many there were. I was thinking about it and I was like 6, 7? I'm not sure. 5 sounds right though. Pidgey, Spearow, Doduo, Farfetch'd. Wait, so Pidgey, Spearow, Doduo, Farfetch'd. What else? Oh, and Togetic. Togetic. I'm just checking something real quick. Are there any normal flying types on Sevi? On the Sevi? Slugma. Togetic, and that's it? There's nothing on Sevi? Oh, wow. 4 Island. Where's 5, 6, 7 Island? Oh, wait, here we go. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Ooh, you can get Skarmory. I want another Skarmory. Natu, no. No Gen 3 Pokemon, really. That's interesting. They didn't. It doesn't seem like they did any Gen 3 Pokemon. Yeah, interesting. I guess the only other options were like Swellow and stuff. I guess we're on one of the Sevi Islands, hey? Okay. Okay. $5.11 for Amy. Spearow in Water Path, Pidgey, Route 7. I never noticed, like, how many freaking routes Pidgey is on. Like, I don't need any more Pidgeys. Like, you gave it to me on the early route. Why don't you put just a couple other Pokemon? You know? Like, why is every route, like, Pidgey, freaking, Rattata, Oddish? Let me look how many routes Pidgey's on. Why is Pidgey on routes 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15, 25, Bond Bridge, Berry Bush, 5 Isle Meadow. What are we doing? What's going on? I don't need any more Pidgeys. I need one Pidgey. That I'll name Fly and level up to 56, because it has the shortest cry in the game, and I'll use it for random encounters that don't require a repel trick. That's all I need. I don't need any more. What are we doing? And like Oddish. I swear it's on 8 billion routes too. Maybe not as, it's not going to be as many. 5, 6, 7, 12, 13, 14, 15, 24, 25, Berry Forest, Bond Bridge, Cape Brink, Water Path. It's like the same amount. We don't need that much Oddish. Okay, I like it shiny. I like Vileplume. I like Vileplume shiny. I like Gloom. Gloom's kind of sick. I'm actually a huge fan of Gloom. I'm a big Gloom fan. I didn't even think about it until now. I love Gloom. Okay. My name's Wretched. Gloom. It just makes sense. The pieces are coming together. Spearow's probably not on as many routes, but it's still on a lot. I think Spear's a little more... Yeah, Spear's a little more pinpointed. Wait, never mind. 3, 4, 9, 10, 11, 17, 18, 22, 23. Not as many numbered routes, but then Treasure Beach, Kindle Road, Mount Ember, Cape Brink, Water Path, Ruin Valley, Canyon Entrance. So, about as many as Pidgey, actually, but just not as many, like, numbered routes. Stop. Like, give me some encounter variety. And, like, the thing is, too, like, on a lot of those routes, there's other Pokemon that you can't find anywhere else or very few places. And it's, like, cool, but they're 10%, and then Pidgey's, like, 30%. And it's like, okay, so basically to hunt in this game, like, I always have to risk getting a Pidgey. You know, and sometimes you can repel trick a little bit, and you get rid of some of the Pidgeys. And it's like, oh, Pidgey's 20% now. And it's like, I still don't want a 1 in 5 chance to get another Pidgey. I feel like a failure. I'm a guy enjoying Pokemon streams while one of my female cousins owns a $2 million house. Feels bad, man. I just don't think those two things are related. Like, you can watch Pokemon streams in your free time and then still be successful. Those are, I mean, your sister could be watching me right now from her $2 million mansion. Actually, someone came into the stream like a week ago. It was a kid, you know, they're probably like 13 or something. But they were like, "You're a grown man. Like, why are you playing Pokemon? Your family needs you." And it's like, do you think this is the only thing I do? Do you think I don't, like, I stream 24/7, like I don't sleep or anything? Also, you can multitask. You can make big bucks while watching my stream. You could do a crypto rug pool. Okay. You could exploit the labor of those less fortunate than you, which is how most rich people make their money. You could basically, like, be born with money, or marry into money. That's a good strategy. You could have a trust fund. While watching my stream, I mean. You could work from home while watching my stream. At a reasonably lucrative job that would allow you to slowly save up for a home. Maybe. If you have low expenses. But the reality is that for most people, probably like 60 to 70% of people, they'll never own a home because they're paycheck to paycheck and they could never afford even a down payment on a house, let alone the monthly payments that would be required for a house in the current economy, considering the discrepancy between housing prices and the average wage. It seems that Pidgey and Spearow are very likely for 2 random shinies. Yeah. Like, you hear about people saying they got a random shiny, and it's like so often a Pidgey or a Spearow. Or like one of those other Pokemon I was talking about. What is this? This is Pokemon White 2. And we're trying to find shiny PANPOUR. This one. It's a 1 in 82,000. Interesting to mention their sex. Wait, who? Oh, the female cousin part? Yeah. Why did we mention female cousin? Like, couldn't you have just said cousin? Like, what? Why mention them? Okay. I'm just kidding. I think in some ways that could be interpreted, like, if you really wanted to, like, make it a stretch, you could interpret that as being like, oh, well, because she's a girl, it's harder for her to make money. And it's like, there are some barriers. But also being like, this woman made $2 million. You know. She has an OF. You know, that's another thing you could multitask doing while watching my stream. Is your cousin Amaranth? Like, what? I know a lot of women actually make like pretty damn good money doing that. It's funny that it kind of frustrates a lot of people too. It's like, it's not really hurting you. I get the arguments of like, oh, but if you have kids and like, oh, your family and like, I get it, but I just don't really care. Get that bad girl. Whatever. To be fair, though, I will say that if she purchased that house on her own, it probably wasn't enormous talent that led to that, right? And I don't think that's inherently a bad thing. Like, I think some people are frustrated that that wasn't something that was like, you had to try that hard at or be that skillful at. Sure, there's a lot of competition, but also like, you know, you can have advantages that other people just won't have. You know what I'm saying? You can have some assets that other people don't have that make it a lot easier to be successful in that field of study, if that makes sense. I miss my shiny Altaria. He died on the great OneDrive purge at 25. Did that happen? Did OneDrive like tank or something? People lost data. That's why I use Google Drive. Great diplomatic language. I was trying. I was trying for YouTube's TOS and Twitch's. I think that it's very interesting that you mentioned that your cousin like has a $2 million house and you're comparing yourself to her, and you're saying that like you enjoying a Pokemon stream like is almost like the reason why you're not successful, you know, in the way that you want to be compared to her. But then bring up that she made money in a way that I would say is an generally, when you have the tools, is one of the easiest paths to having a lot of money with very minimal like effort. Wonder I killed all my Pokemon saves. That's sad. I'm sorry. I have my everything local and backed up. Redundancy. Okay. Sometimes it deletes stuff to make more space without your consent. Oh. Oh. Okay. Okay. Wait, when did we lose? When did we drop frames? Oh my god, we lost. When did we drop 10% of our frames? When did that happen? Like an hour ago? I didn't even notice. I think I think it's the Ethernet over power. I think there's something with the electrical stuff. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do something. It's making some weird stuff happen with my calls too. I'll tell you about it, but maybe I'll try a different Ethernet cable and then try something else. I don't know. Maybe test it this weekend. Oh, I didn't even know. Normally I look over at that, but I didn't even see it. Yeah, just randomly my upload tanks. I think it's got to be the Ethernet over power. I think our ISP is fine, so. You haven't had any weird issues, right, Amy? Okay. Yeah. Baseball, huh? What's up? Remember me? No, you've never been here. If you were on a different channel. Pretty sure. No messages. I'm ugly bald guy from I think 2 days ago. Oh, I don't remember that name either, but hey. Maybe I do. I don't know. I mean, a lot of people chat. I can't remember everybody. A lot of the time, if I look at chat history, I'll remember, but because you're not on the account you were on before, I can't look at your chat history to remember. Didn't know you could do that. Look at chat history. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you click on someone's name in your chat, and then you click on channel activity. And then chat messages in the last year you can look at. I guess I don't keep anything beyond that. Twitch is forever. You can go back on Twitch like to 5 years ago. It's gonna cost like $1 billion to take out my Farfetch from the breeder. They'll probably be level 100 by then. That's not, yeah. I wonder what the max it can cost is. I think they'll easily be 100 by the end of the hunt, too. Yeah. Did they stop charging more when they max out on level? Like, if you store a level 100 Pokemon, did they still charge you like a flat fee, or did they just keep charging you based on how many steps you've taken? I wonder. Oh my god. What, the Farfetch thing?
Oh my god. Oh my god, he on X Games mode. You guys ever? Oh my god. Oh my god, he on X Games mode.
I found a 3-star relics in deck. Can I have it teleported away? No! I'm sorry.
Oh my god. Oh my god, he on X Games mode.
This is a good video. What's up? Yeah, they suck.
Makes me more fun. Do better.
Yo, what's up, Helix? Thank you for the $2 gamer. You don't have to do that. I appreciate that. Yeah. Give the Baja Blast monkey. I hadn't considered it that, but it is like the exact color of Baja Blast. Some chatters have been calling it the Minty Monkey. Which kind of, you know, there's some alliteration there. So, but Baja Blast also has some alliteration. Just not with monkey. I'll tell you what, if we get it tonight, we'll name it Baja. We don't have that long left. If we get it tonight or next time, next Tuesday, when we do this hunt, I'll name it Baja. Okay. Sending you shiny luck. Thank you, gamer. I need it. We're about halfway through the statistical projected average on this hunt, but I would love to just get it at half. That'd be great. I've done enough. Like, sometimes on a hunt, like, if I get it, like a bit early, I'm like, oh, okay. You know, not as much build up, but cool. I mean, we got it early. Yeah, under odds, cool. This one, I'd be having a great time. Okay. Okay. Minty Monkey. That's right, Nick. Would you ever quit a shiny hunt if it was taking too long? Probably never permanently, just based on like it's taking too long relative to how long it's supposed to take. If anything, going like very over odds reinforces my commitment to that hunt. What I will say is that like it's probably going to be a very long time before I return to Relicanth because it's just annoying to do that hunt efficiently. It's very annoying and like strenuous. Like I will give myself carpal tunnel if I get that Relicanth. Like the cost of that hunt is not just the like 250 hours average that it's supposed to take in Pokemon Sapphire. It's that you get carpal tunnel. That's not a great trade to me. So, I mean, maybe at some point, if I'm feeling better, if I'm a little more physically fit, I'll go back to that. But double over odds for mine, I'd keep going. You know, got a full send. Same with like Chansey. You know, Chansey we could very easily go over odds. I hope we don't, but I'd keep going. I don't foresee myself really getting tired of shiny hunting. I mean, it's been 5K hours now, and I'm just like, feel the same way I did about it in the beginning. I don't feel less excited when I get shinies. Okay. It feels pretty much the same, so I don't foresee myself changing my view on hunts anytime soon either. The thing is, too, the fact that we have multiple, you know, we have like 5 or 6 hunts going that we do throughout the week really helps because, like, we're progressing on most, like, every hunt, like, more slowly than we would if we just grinded it out. But also, it doesn't feel as, like, unrelenting. Like, yeah, I'm at 250 hours on this hunt, and this hunt's kind of tedious. But we only do it once a week, and so by the time we come back to it, I'm like, oh, okay, this is cool, I'm fine. But if we were doing this, like, for 250 hours straight, like, I'd probably feel a little differently. I'd probably be a little annoyed. I'd be complaining a little bit. I'd be like, just give me it. Like, give me it at half odds. Farfetch is my first one with no side hunts is probably not the best idea. Not a great way to dip your toes in, that's for sure. Like, honestly, I would maybe even just, like, recommend going and doing, like, a fast hunt. Just so you can say that you, like, got a shiny while intending to get one. Before you did. Freaking Farfetched eggs. Go do, like, Paris. Paris is 100% in Mount Moon. On the second floor. B1F. Or like something like that. Or a static encounter, you know. The static encounters are pretty fast. You could do like Articuno or Moltres or something. Just something to dip your toes in a little bit, you know. Check the temperature of the water. Sure, it's time you could be spending on Farfetch, but, you know. We're not in a rush, are we? You know, and on Farfetch'd, you've probably done, at this point, like, 400 eggs, maybe? Right? On a random encounter, you would have done, like, 5,000 encounters. 6,000 encounters. I've been doing it while you hunt. It's not that bad. Hey, look, if it's feeling alright, it's feeling alright. You may feel differently at, like, 300 hours, but, you know. See what happens. Ah. Wait, 1 second. 27-21 for Amy. Alright, I need to sparkly. I'll be right back, chat. Big walkaway moment. Okay. Oh no, the can's bent. Ooh, that didn't cut me, did it? I'm most scared of getting cut by cans. It tried. There we go. Gah! Yeah, for me too, like, a lot of people will be like, oh, I couldn't do like a longer hunt, like I would just get sick of it and whatever, and it's just like, if you would do a lot of shorter hunts, then I think a longer hunt is the same. You're just like not getting like a gratification in between, right? Like you just have to wait longer between the gratification. That's all you're really doing. And if you are able to enjoy in the moment, then there shouldn't be a problem, right? Like I like just chilling and having some time to think to myself, and I like just being able to talk to chat and have conversations and stuff. I don't need like the quick gratification, right? It's just not something I need. I understand why other people have a preference for it, of being like, I would rather not do a hunt on a single console at 8192. Maybe I'd prefer to use a shiny charm. Maybe I'd prefer to play 6 consoles, you know, whatever. I get it. For me though, I'm totally content with just like spending all the time I need to. Because I'm like, me going a long time not getting a shiny just it's not that big of a deal. Sometimes I'll complain and be like, oh, it's been so long, oh, we're over odds, whatever, like, but it's just not that big of a deal. It's not like I'm like proactively like whining about it all day. I'll just mention it once. I'll be like, oh wow, it's been like 3 months since we got a shiny. Oh, Wild Ralts randomly decided to cut off while chaining. Oh, that's unfortunate. I'm sorry. You get unlucky. Yeah, I think if someone's like, if you're like fine doing like a 10-hour hunt, like you should be fine doing a 50 or 100-hour hunt. Because it's like, you're still spending all that time doing something. You're just getting like a couple more rewards for it. But they're not even like real rewards, you know? So I think people underestimate what they could do. Hey, what's up, Dewclaw? We're just chilling. Just dreaming about the Baja Blast. Minty Monkey. What does Baja Blast taste like? So it definitely tastes like Mountain Dew, but to me it's a little bit more crisp and refreshing. Like the carbonation hits a little bit harder. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because it's from a fountain usually, but just the experience I've had. And then it has like like a a tropical citrus type of vibe. Like it's like a tropical fruit and citrus mix kind of punch, and it's hard to explain because it's this own unique flavor that doesn't really taste like anything else, but it's pretty incredible. I don't even like sugary sweet things, but Baja Blast it's pretty good. What flavor is Baja Blast? It is tropical lime. So it's just Mountain Dew with like kind of key lime kind of vibe, probably is what they mean by tropical. Hibiscus citrus. I wouldn't say hibiscus, but I would say citrus. Wow, it's really on point. Tropical lime, and I was saying it tastes like tropical fruit and lime. You could probably make it. Could you? I'm supposed to have the Baja Blast pie was only sold as a full pie. Want to try a slice? Yeah. It was expensive, wasn't it? Wasn't it like $20 or something? It was like a small pie. Does he not have Powerade and Mountain Dew? I don't think it would be the same. I don't think... I don't know if that's an urban legend. Official Mountain Dew Baja Blast is not made from Mountain Dew and Powerade. Real Baja Blast is a unique pre-mixed tropical lime flavored soft drink. This is only an internet DIY copycat recipe. Mixing the two creates a similar blue-green color and a sweet formula, but it's not the actual commercial formula. Did we get the pie? No, we did not get a Baja Blast pie. More than $20. This is insane. It'd be bad for business to just confirm it's syrups. I don't know. I feel like if you tried them together, like, I don't think it would taste like as much like Baja Blast. And, like, most people don't have access to Mountain Dew and Powerade syrup. And also, you're not going to get the same level of carbonation if you mix if you mix Powerade with Mountain Dew, because the half of it's not carbonated. So... wouldn't really be the same, because I think the carbonation is part of the experience. It's very carbonated, very crisp, refreshing, sweet, citrusy. The thing about Baja Blast 2 is that it just works so well with Taco Bell food. Like, there's something about it that complements Taco Bell food really well. Do you have a spreadsheet of all the shinies you got? Honestly, no, I don't keep great track. The only thing I really have keeping 100% track is my TikTok and my YouTube Shorts, which have the video of me getting each shiny. But I don't keep that great of track otherwise. Recently, I've started keeping a little bit better track with like a notepad. Some Japanese player figured out that if you get some sort of trait on the toucan that blows itself up, it survives its own personal damage, just becomes a reusable nuke on Power World. Oh. Reading those at the moment. Good luck. You should make one. You get a time column, game column. I'd be interested at least. Yeah, you know, I was just considering it when you mentioned it, like, just to keep better track, but I haven't done that for any of my hunts so far, and so it feels weird to start doing it now. You know? I'll think about it. Let's see what's up. Maybe spreadsheet it up. But it is time to go, gamers. It is time to go. We're gonna raid somebody on Twitch. Let me see. Ooh. Professors streaming? Rex is streaming. We're gonna raid Rex. Gamers, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate everybody chatting, chilling, lurking, whatever you were doing. We'll be back tomorrow. We should be back tomorrow. I think we're doing Paris. Yeah, we're doing Paris. And yeah, I think we got it all covered. Last encounter. Say hi to Rex for me. And have a good night, gamers. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. You can't retroactively go back and add the ones you've already done. Honestly, I don't know the numbers on some of them. It'd be a guesstimate. So I guess I could guesstimate, but yeah, I could try. Maybe we'll see. We'll see what's up. All right, later, gamers. Bye-bye.